Hi everyone, it's Tracy. It has been a long time since I made a video, and I'm going to do a video response to Jennifer Ball's Spiritual Garage about deck storage. And we'll just have a little look at my space and some other things that I've gotten recently, and at the same time. I'm trying to do this on my iPad so I don't have to edit it, so please forgive the weird angles of the shakiness. Going to do the best I can, but I have a lot of decks and I have lots of different storage solutions that I wanted to show you. This is, back up a little bit, this is my table where I do my readings, and it's also my office, so if I need to set up my computer or anything like that, I do that here. Because you can see there's my cable modem and my printer. I have an old-fashioned phone. So let's come over here first, and then we'll go around the room clockwise. We'll consider this 12. I do have a shelf full of for crystals, and that box there has crystals in it. And this, oh, I wish I could get a better shot of him. Let's see if that helps. This is my new resting Buddha that I got from Ross. I just love him. He was very glittery in the store, and I thought that was going to put me off, but in my house, the glitter just barely shows, and I absolutely love it. Right back off. Then I have this shelf situation here. This is something I just got at Target. It's 2 shelves. I believe it's designed for shoe storage. And I bought it and just put it on the table, and then bought these little boxes that fit perfectly to slide in there. Now I'll sit this down. And then in the boxes, I'll move this. It's got a little handle where I can pull it out, and you can see I can put a whole lot of decks in there. This is my collection of vintage Rider Waite Smith yellow box, including, you know, University Press, and so that's where I keep that collection. Ooh. And then in the middle I just have some more tarot decks. And then in this far right one, I have 3 of these. You can see Hay House decks will fit in this box as well. And these little boxes came from Target also. And they act basically just like shelves. Then I also have this little tray sort of storage thingy that I've got some more decks piled into. You'd think I'd organize them better, but I don't. That can slide under there as well. And then over here, I have a couple of little cardboard magnetic boxes that the Tarot of Transformation and my Thoth Tarot are in. And you will also notice that on my desk I have a number of wooden boxes. Let's turn this light back on, see if that helps. No, it doesn't. This one is the Moon deck with the box that it came in, the Moon deck Oracle. This one. It's just a beautiful box, and I managed to get it on eBay for half price. This box is one of my favorites because that's an old box. You can tell it has a little slide-off lid. I have my Bonefire in there, in addition to, this is the deck that came with it and the scarf that came with it. It's a vintage Albano Waite deck that you can tell has been well used and loved, and I love having decks that other people have used. I just think it brings a lovely sense of history to the deck, and I don't have any trouble, you know, getting it cleansed, getting it with my energy in it instead of theirs. But the dark edges just remind me that someone else loved it for quite a while and used it, and I just love that. Which I would, since I majored in history in college. I love old stuff. Now, 2 decks don't really fit in this box, so I have to be a little more particular, and I'll have to get the lid on that box later. I have a couple more boxes over here This is just a little box that I purchased off of Amazon. It's got my Golden Rider in it and a couple of flash drives. And this box, this is a really cool box. It came, once again, another eBay find. It came off of eBay with a cloth and the Tarot of St. Petersburg. So, I don't like bags. That's one of the questions in Jennifer's tag. I don't like bags. I only have one deck in a bag right now. That's this bag. And you can see why I don't like bags. It falls sideways. There's this whole wad of stuff up at the top. And they just don't sit on each other. You can't stack them. Plus, with all the decks I have, I would never know what was in each bag, even if I got very different bags. But this is my Color Mage Oracle, and it has 108 cards, and I just can't find anything else to put it in other than a bag. So what I have done, I'll show you. Oops, sorry. I have ordered a new bag, a new custom bag for this deck. Can you see that? It's one of those slip in with a little band around it that I hope will sit flatter and won't have, you know, that issue. But it is being handmade for me, so it'll take another week or two to get here. So that's the only deck I plan to keep in a bag because I have found no other solution. This is my Color Energy card. This is really cool. That is actually stone. It's carved stone, and you can see that it was carved that way. It's not put together. I got that at World Market. It's really cool. All right, now I'm going to pick this up. We're going to move to the right. I have this cabinet. And that stack of decks, that's a stack of decks that I have acquired recently that I haven't found a place to put yet. So we'll see where they end up going. But this cabinet is just, and I'm sorry about the poor lighting, it's just the best I can do today. It's smack full of decks. I was watching Lena's response, Fire of Transformation, and I have the same problem that she has with I hate having them too deep because then I have to go digging for decks, and I don't want to go digging for decks. I want them to have them right at my fingertips. So these are decks that, the ones on the outside I might use fairly regularly. The ones that are behind there I probably got to trade away. Oh, and something else. Llewellyn has put out a tarot calendar for 2018. I've gone ahead and picked that up. Then over here I have, you'd call that maybe an office organizer type thing. It's got a big slot here in the back and then some small slots here in the front. These are for some decks that I really want to start using very soon. Then back away, I have this little bookshelf that I bought at Tuesday Morning that I thought would help solve the problem of having decks handy and easy to reach when I wanted to find a deck. And it does okay. The only problem is I feel like this is designed to put your tchotchkes, your setabouts on, and then just leave them there, because these edges here, while it's great that it helps to keep stuff from falling off, it sometimes makes it difficult for me to get the decks off the shelf. But I'm going to keep trying with that one. Now we're going to spin around some more. And this, as I back up as far as I can, this is an old TV cabinet for, you know, old TVs, old cathode ray TVs that I had when I moved into this house, and when I got a new flat screen and it didn't work anymore, I just stuck it back here in the office. You can see I have a number of decks stored in here. And then I have, on the top shelf, I have companion books, and then tarot books, chakra books, all kinds of books. Okay, moving right along. This came from Hobby Lobby, and it's got drawers. And the drawers are really good for holding small decks. And then over here I have another bookshelf that has more companion books on it. But I wanted to talk a little bit about solutions when you don't have, for those giant boxes that you can't find a place for and aren't really practical. The new Llewellyn boxes, I like those, and I'm keeping the decks in those boxes. But I have a number of old Llewellyn decks and other decks that came in those giant boxes with the companion book that were very flimsy and didn't hold up well to repeated opening and closing. So I first of all started putting those decks in bags, and that's when I discovered that bags, I don't like bags. As pretty as they are, I don't like bags. So I started looking for other solutions and other small boxes. You know, small boxes, not big boxes, not big wooden boxes, you know, not like that. That I could put these decks into to stick them like in my Hobby Lobby drawers. And I found a couple of things that I like. And I think this is my favorite solution. This is a white tuck box that I bought from MakePlayingCards.com. They were 80 cents a piece. So you can buy a whole bunch of them. I can put stickers on the outside of them so that regardless of how I store them, I know what's in there. And they are a tuck box, like a tuck box that comes with a US Games deck. And there's my Gilded Tarot all over the place. So if you're like me and you have a lot of decks and you just want to keep them out of those giant boxes, but keep them in a box that they can stack up on, these tarot boxes from Make Playing Cards work really well. They also sell 2-part lift-off boxes at MakePlayingCards.com. They are $3 or $4 a piece, something like that. And so for me, I needed, 20. That was just too expensive, so the tuck boxes are the way I went. I also found these little tins on eBay that are almost, they fit decks that don't quite fit into a tuck box, that are maybe a little too tall. Like Llewellyn and their cardstock extravaganza. They were making the thin cardstock and I could fit the Llewellyn decks in here. Then they went through a period of about a year maybe before they were putting them in the hard cardboard boxes and making the really thin cardstock, that they were making cardstock that was a little thicker and a little bit, it's this cardstock actually. So this is my Animal Totem Tarot. The cardstock is thick, and a deck, that Llewellyn deck, will not fit in this box. So I found these tins that would hold those Llewellyn decks and have a window in the front so that you know what's on the inside. So that's what I used for some of those decks. But now that Llewellyn is making the hard boxes, I'm not buying as many of their decks. When I first started collecting, I bought a lot of decks. But now, like my Everyday Witch Tarot is just staying in the hard box with the book. I really do like to keep the book with the box if I can, because that way when I go to pull out the deck, it's just all there together, rather than having to find the deck and then go to the bookshelf. And you've seen the bookshelf. That's just companion books on that shelf. And the companion books don't always have, the name of the deck on them, like Phantasmagoria goes with the Vampire Tarot. So sometimes I'm looking through the stack of books and going, which book is it? So I do like to keep the books with the decks whenever I can. So there you go. That's my tarot storage solution. I am not completely happy with it. If I had anything I wanted and could have anything I wanted, I'd have a whole new room built on the house. And it would be my tarot room. And this would be my office. And I would do work here and I would do tarot there. And I would build, you know, money's unlimited. I would build shelves that were just deep enough for the decks, but they would be mobile. So if you've ever seen anything, I think it was, I've seen several movies where you go into a fancy closet and the stuff would, you'd push a button and some racks would come out and other racks would go back behind. That's what I want for my tarot deck storage. So I want to be able to have my storage all around the room, very handy, one deck deep in boxes, and then, but be able to utilize the space as efficiently as possible, so I could just push a button and and you know, another rack of books and decks would come out. So that would be my ideal situation for storing my decks. As you can see, this situation I really thought was going to be helpful, but I can't, you know, like the Tao Oracle is standing up. That is how I would like to store them, rather than on their sides. And when they're on their sides, I tend to knock the other ones over that are next to them, and so it's okay. It's not ideal. It's working. It's getting. I'm not discarding it yet to see if I can make a new system. And here are a few things that I've gotten recently. I got the Druid Plant Oracle and the Druid Animal Oracle, and I got a vintage older copy of the Druid Animal Oracle that comes with the hardback book. The Fairy Tale Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, the Voyager Tarot. There you go. I haven't worked with any of these much at all, or at all. One that I've gotten recently that I've been really, really surprised with, which is what made me buy the Fairy Tale Tarot, was Les Vampires. I have been really impressed with, you know, this is not a deck I would have picked. It's not my kind of artwork. I don't like all the sad big-eyed people, but let me tell you, the messages in that deck are just something to be reckoned with. I think they're fabulous. Well, I'm getting on to 20 minutes, so I'm going to stop this. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day, and I have some very unique and unusual decks on the way, so hopefully I'll be making a few more videos sometime very soon. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.